let's give it the beans. Here we go. It just moves. Welcome back to Born Again Motoring. And here it is, my new ride, my new daily, a C8 Corvette Z51. Proper key, the key tag. Today I wore my my New Balances, the only pair I have, to play the part. These are actually some fresh New Balances. I like the colors, but yeah, here it is. Torch red exterior, Z51 wing. As I said, Z51 package. Black interior with red stitching. Let's do a point of view drive. It's been a while. Nice little display. Let's get it started here. Fires right up. Okay, so I like to drive it in sport. So for the duration of this drive, I will be driving it in sport, but I will enable the Z mode, which is my custom configuration. That's what this button here does, Z mode. You probably have already by now watched a ton of videos on the C8, given it's 2023. So I just want to kind of cover the things that I like about it, maybe do some accelerations, give you my thoughts on this car, what it's been like to own it so far, especially having owned other Corvettes, or two C7s previously, one being a Z06, and then now my S2000, and of course many other cars that I've owned. If you watched my channel before, you will know that I've owned plenty of different performance vehicles. Let's go. Right off the bat in this car, you notice that it's a nice place to be. This interior it's very, very, very nice. Nice for Chevy, but just nice in general. The fit and finish, especially in this being a 3LZ, is it's just, you know, it asks you to come back and hang out each and every time. And look how quick the transmission shifts. I'm just, you know, again, this is in sport, so it has a little bit more of an aggressive shift, but it's still very, very comfortable, and it shifts so quickly. PDKs and the Porsches is everyone's benchmark. And I've owned a Porsche Macan that had a PDK, and I can tell you, yes, it's fast. And again, that's the gold standard, but I wouldn't say that this is any slower. Now, I don't have any math or science behind it, the numbers behind exactly how fast it shifts, but I can tell you right now that this transmission is no slouch, and it doesn't, I'm not asking for it to be any faster, and to me that's a good sign. The next thing is, of course, you're looking right at it, the square steering wheel, the squircle, or whatever you want to call it. It's an interesting choice. It was a bold design decision. It doesn't really bother me, honestly. I think it suits the character of this car. The only thing, you know, the only problem I may have is, like, if you were going to really take this sideways, kind of catching the flat parts might feel a little weird, but it's something that you can get used to. But other than that, I mean, it gives you perfect visibility of the gauges. I'm not sure how the heads-up display looks on this camera right now, but the heads-up display is very, very nice, very clear. one thing I like to do is if you pull both paddles in, you can do a rev. So you hear that LT2. It's just, you know, some people will say because this is mid-engine, that LT2 may not sound right, that pushrod V8 behind you, but in my opinion, I think it's really cool. I like that sound coming out of a car like this. Yes, I would prefer a flat plane crank V8, which is what the Z06 does have, but still, I mean, this is still very cool. It's a great package, and it's not a slouch. So let me put it on manual mode. I'm gonna downshift. I'm gonna give it a good go up here. We're at a stop here. All right. So handling wise, absolutely amazing. The front end's so light with the engine being in the rear. I'm not going to complain about the steering feedback. That's most modern cars now, and even my S2000 has vague steering, and that's a 20-plus-year-old car. It's just the way cars are now. Here we go. It's rocket ship. This thing is a rocket. I mean, 495 horsepower. It's not the most by today's standards, but you know, it still feels fast. My Z06 had 650, and yes, this feels slower than that, but this is always going to put the power down, like no matter what. Actually, I'm gonna go here. Let's go up a little bit. But yeah, this can consistently put the power down. And the Z06, the C7 Z06, was overpowered for the chassis, but I love that characteristic about it, mind you. I really enjoyed that. I like the fact that like it took a lot of skill with your foot to like really push it, and you really had to know what you were doing. I appreciate that. But this is like more akin to, I would say, the Grand Sport, where the power matches the chassis. Like there's not a like I don't really ever fear for my life in this car. You know, it's just it always grips. The weight is perfect in the back. The aero is great. The whole underbody is, it's like, it looks like a German supercar. I mean, sorry, an Italian supercar, or even some of the German competitors, because it's all plated on the bottom. The aero is just, it's phenomenal. Now, how does this stack up to my S2000? It's a different car. The S2000 is front mid-engine. This is rear mid-engine. S2000 is completely raw. It has no driver's aids, save for ABS, and if you want to consider, you know, electronic power steering, then that too. This has all the driver's aids. Yes, I can turn them all off, and everything's electric. Brake-by-wire. See, my S2000 even has a throttle cable. This is drive-by-wire, as most new cars are. But how does it compare from a driver's experience? A different way of delivering a smile on my face. This is faster than the supercars that I grew up admiring when I was a kid. Whether it be Ferrari or Lamborghini, McLaren, I mean, this is, you know, faster than those. Although they're not, it's not faster than many supercars today. It still can compete with many supercars. And for that reason, it puts a smile on my face. You know, it's got this lightning fast dual clutch transmission. It's almost like a American Formula One car. I guess since it's Chevy, let's call it an Indy car for the road. All right, let's give it the beans. Here we go. It just moves. And always obey the rules of the road. Like, don't get too crazy. This is a freeway pass, so we can drive a little bit faster here, but let's not commit some felonies, okay? Save it for the track. But handling, I mean, like a dream. Right now I have it in sport mode. Let me go ahead and shift it over to my Z button, which is basically, and watch, you'll see the gauge cluster change. Oops. It's basically track mode, but I took the suspension, I put it on sport because track mode suspension is too stiff for the street. But steering, engine response, exhaust, brake, it's all track. If it's anything like the old Z06 or the C7, if you put it on track mode and drive it on the street, you're gonna bend your wheels. Because this Magno Ride suspension, it's that good. I mean, it adjusts very quickly, and it makes it stiff, and you will bend a wheel. You hit a small pothole or anything, your wheel's gone. Let's go. Little cut, but excellent stability. Excellent stability. Yeah, it's just, I would love to get this thing out on a track. Let's give it a downshift. Love that sound. Let's go. Uh-oh, something happened up here. Somebody got in trouble. See the cops. He's a cop. So yeah, Z51 has extra cooling. It has the front lip, it has that spoiler, so it has like a little bit of aero package. This one has the magnetic ride. The final drive gear is different, so you get more acceleration off the end. Dang, that was an accident here. But yeah, you get more acceleration. So all of the 0 to 60 times usually are done in the Z51. Anyway, that's all stuff you probably already know or probably already seen on the internet. For me, as a person that's, again, you know, I've owned many cars, Japanese cars, German cars, American cars. This is like a big step forward for Chevy and American brands in general. What they've done here and what they've given in the package. Now, yes, this is not cheap. They're not cheap, but what they've done is a huge step forward. This is an American Cayman. I mean, I would call it a 911 if it was rear engine, but it's mid-engine. It's rear mid. So that's why I'm gonna go with Cayman. So let's just call it an American Porsche. And Corvettes kind of always have been, not to say that, not to dog on them, because they have their fan base and they've always had their thing and their own appeal, which is, again, why I've owned them. But this is a step up. It really is. Build quality, fit, finish, performance. The Z06 itself is just mind-numbingly good. I haven't driven one, but if this is this good, the Z06 and what I've seen, what I've watched and heard, especially with that flat plane crank engine, it's gotta be. So yeah, this will be my daily. The S2000 will remain my weekend car. I want to keep the mileage pretty low on it. I want to keep it pretty pristine. I don't know long term what I'll do with it, but I love the AP1 S2000. You may have seen my other video before. If not, I'll link it for you. And I went from my Z06 to that, and that car still puts a smile on my face. This car puts a smile on my face. Both of them, every time I get in them. The fact that I have options feels great. Now, am I going to do any mods to this car? Probably not. I'm probably going to keep it pretty close to stock. I mean, it already has everything I want. If I want to take it to the track with the Z51, I already can. But yeah, I don't really think I'm going to do anything. I think I might get the high wing for it. I really like the high wing. But that's it. Just keep it as is. I mean, it's a lot of car. Maybe some wheels, but I'm not really itching. I kind of like these 5-spoke wheels. I'm not a fan of the Trident wheels, but these 5 spokes, they're great. So yeah, we'll see. Maybe if they bend or something, I'll consider changing up. Yeah, but even just like switching lanes, I mean, you feel that light front. If you've never driven a mid-engine car before, that in and of itself is a different experience. So much confidence goes into this car, or being able to control this car, I should say. And I'm really blessed to be able to have this and to experience it. You know, I thank God for giving me the opportunity to experience these things, and just very fortunate. There's a lot of people that are suffering to even just get a car, and I'm over here driving, you know, 2 cars that I really enjoy. So yeah, I think I will leave it at that. I'll be back with another video, I'm sure, in this car. How does it compare to my Z06 real quick? I mean, I love that Z06. That car is it's a monster. I don't know. I need to think about that still. I need to drive this longer. But yeah, I'll come back on that. Thanks for tuning in. It's good to be back. I know I've been absent. Life, family, work, but I'm still around. God bless you all. Take care. What does it profit a man if he gains the whole world and loses his own soul? Remember that. These things are temporary. We're supposed to use things and love people. So don't put things above people. Put people first where you can. God bless you. I'm out.